Good morning, students. So in this video lecture, I'll be helping you revise the main points that you need to remember while writing legal reports. Okay, the following points can also be used in case you are asked to discuss the steps involved in legal report writing if a question like that comes in the exam. Okay, so please keep these points in mind when in either case, whether there is a theoretical question on the topic or whether you are given a practical one. So there are two ways in which they can ask you questions. They might just ask you A, to discuss the steps involved in legal report writing. uh, in that case, you will of course have to remember all the things that I'm going to discuss now. Or they could of course give you a situation and then expect you to write a legal report on it. So please be prepared for either of the two possibilities. So let's look at what is a legal report. Now, a legal report or legal reports, typically referred to as legal memoranda or memos, are designed to outline and explain the legal and factual issues in a case. Legal memoranda can be written in purely objective style to explain legal issues and likely outcomes in a neutral format. They can also be framed as persuasion, designed to present the best possible case from a specific party's perspective. Okay, so this is the formal report. Now, of course, legal reports, they're usually written in the memo form, but as I've already discussed with you, in some instances, legal reports might just be written in the format of a formal letter as well. Okay, but if in case they ask you to talk about legal report writing, you can um, talk about legal memos in a more focused fashion. Okay, now the format for memo style legal report is, of course, as before you. Um, I think I've already discussed in the class, so you will remember that all these points, all these things that are on your screen right now, they need to be mentioned on the top left-hand side of the report. Okay, so if let's say you're writing on an A4 size sheet, then to, from, date, file, and subject, all this information will be mentioned on the top of the memo. Like on the top, you will first write memorandum. On the top, you will write memorandum, followed by all these things. Okay. Uh, yeah, all these things. A sample memo is, of course, will be shared with you all. I've actually shared a link up in this PPT with you all. Take a look at that sample memo. It will give you a clearer idea as to how to write a memo style legal report. But these things, of course, uh, are mentioned at the very beginning of the report. So first you mentioned the two. Now this is of course the reader this of course refers to the audience of the memo. Okay, whosoever is going to read the memo, his name needs to go in here. Now it could be anybody, as I've already told you, that memo style report, a legal report can be written to anyone. It could be written to a client. In the question that I had given you all to um, write a legal report on, I had asked you all to prepare a report for the client, right? No, or the instructing lawyer. The instructing lawyer, I guess. Yes, it was the instructing lawyer who, of course, had to be given information about a certain case. Okay, so yes, either an instructing lawyer or in some cases, you might just have to give a legal report to the client or a judge. Okay, so that person's name needs to go in here. You can also specify the designation of that person here itself. Then followed by this two is from. Now your full name will go in. Your designation, the name of your company can of course also be the name of the firm that you're working with can also be specified here, from. Followed by date. Now this is the date of submission of the report. In case there is a file number, you need to mention it. If not, you can actually leave this thing out. Okay, file number is not necessary. In case a file number is mentioned in the question, then please specify that. If it is not mentioned, then you need not include it. It's fine, it's perfectly fine to not include it. So to, from, date and subject on the other hand are extremely important. You definitely need to include these three things in your memo. Now the subject, or ray as it is called in some cases, is of course the topic. What is the report on? So it needs to be described very precisely. Okay. So in case you are talking about a case that a client had brought in, let's say it was the case related to her divorce, then you need to again describe the case very precisely. You need to mention the name of the client and that person's and then of course need to mention that you are specifically talking about the divorce case of that person. Okay. Yeah, so please be very precise while mentioning the subject. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Now once you have mentioned all these things on the top left hand side, we begin with the body of the memo. Okay, the body of the memo. Now when you're writing the body of a legal report, the body of a memo, that is, there are certain subheads that you must include. Now the subheads that are visible on your screen, there are 5 of them. These need to be included. Okay. There are certain subheads which are of course optional. Let's say the legal memo is a very long one. If it's a very long report that you're writing, then of course you might just want to include a table of contents, then an appendix and other things as well. I think I discussed all those things with you all when I was teaching you all how to write a legal report. So those you should remember. Okay, so these are the subheads that you must include in your report. I will share a document with you all. Again, some study material will be shared with this video lecture, wherein you will find uh, and in that document you will find that the person who's of course uh, writing that particular article has mentioned more than the subheads that I have specified, but then those subheads are of course optional. Even in the sample memo that I've shared with you all, these are the 4 or 5 subheads that have been included. Okay. So these of course need to be included, since chances are very high that in your exams they will ask you all to just write a short report. These subheads need to be included. Okay, how they are labeled, how they are named are of course is of course um, a different question, but these labels need to be included. So for the first thing that you need to discuss is are the facts of the case. Okay, so whatever case or whatever subject, the topic that you're writing the report on, you need to specify the facts of that case. Again, if we are talking about, let's say, a divorce case that has been brought in by a client, and you are telling um, another lawyer about it, then or a judge about it, then of course the facts of the case need to be mentioned properly. They need to be listed point wise. Okay, this is very important. They need to be listed point wise, but please don't keep them too short. Like, be a little elaborate. Like, even if you're mentioning the facts in terms of points, make sure there are at least 2-3 lines uh, in each and every point that you're mentioning. Like, describe the point properly. Don't just write half or one line, that's it. Don't do that. Okay, so at least state the fact in 2-3 lines and then move on to the next fact. This is how it will work. As far as issues and questions presented, it could either be just one issue. In that case, of course, you need to state that. You can either mention it as an issue or question presented. Okay, but then these the information that will go under the issue and question presented is one and the same. This will of course be what kind of question presented, or the issue will be of course what kind of legal advice is of course being sought from you, that like on what are the grounds, what are the reasons for which legal advice is being sought from you. So that of course needs to be mentioned here. Then followed by issue or question presented is the conclusion or conclusions in case there is more than one issue being discussed, or brief answers. Okay. Go with, if you are using issue, then use the subhead conclusion with it. If you are working with question presented as a header, subheader, then let the next header be brief answer. Although the information that you will specify under these headers is the same. Okay, so please keep this in mind. What all needs to be written under this, as in conclusions or brief answers, will of course relate to the issues and questions presented. So if whatever question has been presented by the client to you, or whosoever you're writing the report to, the brief answer will of course relate to that. It should answer that question, or the conclusion of course is supposed to address the issue being handled. So this is how you're supposed to go about writing this section. Now, it might seem like conclusion is supposed to go, should actually be mentioned after discussion or analysis, but no, conclusion will be mentioned first. It will be mentioned first because although of course when it comes to drawing conclusions, you will need to analyze the situation, only then will you draw the conclusion. But for clarity's sake, when you're writing a report, especially a legal report, the conclusion will be stated first, so that the answer to the question that is being presented by the person you're writing the report to is answered immediately. He or she doesn't have to look around too much in the report to actually find the solution to the problem that he or she might be bringing in. Okay, which is why conclusion or brief answer will be mentioned before the discussion or analysis of the issue. Please remember this, it's very important. So first, facts, second, issue or question presented, followed by conclusion or the brief answer. And following this only will we offer an analysis or a discussion, whichever word you prefer. After that only will the discussion or the analysis provided. Now here in the discussion or analysis sections, you obviously need to mention the relevant laws that apply to the situation or the case that has been brought in. Okay, so this is something that you need to remember. Of course, here you might just be presenting your side of the argument, like what you feel will be the ultimate conclusion of the thing. Like when you're talking about the conclusion, what you feel might just be the situation, and the discussion will of course help you substantiate the conclusion or the brief answer that is being provided by you. Now, following this is of course the sources consulted or research checklist. This of course will refer to the books or the articles or any other sources that you might have made use of for your legal research, for your research. I mean, this sources consulted is of course important. It needs to be mentioned because this will help you substantiate your discussion and conclusion. Okay. Whatever relevant laws that you are citing, you must have of course come across them somehow. So one of the best ways in which you can let the person to whom you are writing the report know that you have done your that you have done sufficient legal research is by mentioning proper or by citing proper sources. So sources consulted list is what gives a proper weight to your report. Now in your exam, when you're writing your exam, of course the sources consulted, you might not really have any. In that case, of course, you can leave this section. If you can think of any, then please list them. If there are none, you can just omit this header. Please omit this header. But ideally, when you're writing a research report for a law firm or for a client for that matter, or for anyone for that matter, sources consulted is included. But for your exams, in case you cannot think of anything to write under sources consulted, please do not mention this header. Just include facts, issue, conclusion, and discussion. Okay. And please be very sure of what you're writing under these 4 headers. Okay. You can actually click on this link It has a sample memo, which I think is fairly well written. So try and follow and uh, this sample. Like again, I think it's a really well written memo. Since I don't know much about law and everything, so I thought I at least should share um, properly written memorandum with you all. So you can of course take a look at this. This will help you learn how to write a proper legal memo. Okay. Now there are certain points. Now there are of course points to remember while writing a legal report. Okay, this should of course be points. Okay, so first thing is you need to keep in mind the audience for your memorandum or report. It's very important. See, you will not know what to put in your memorandum or your report for that matter if you don't know who you are addressing. Okay, so if the report is, let's say, written for the client, then of course the tone of the report will, it needs to be objective, but how the information presented will be very different from how it will be presented in case the report is being written for, let's say, a, a senior lawyer, like a lawyer you are working with, who's of course senior to you and needs the facts of the case, or for that matter, a judge. So whosoever you're writing to will the readership will determine what goes into the report and how it is uh, um, how the information is placed in the report. Okay, so please keep in mind the readership or the audience of the memorandum or report. Now, typically, legal memos are written for an attorney or a law school class professor who may have extensive knowledge of the law in the relevant area, but may not be as familiar with the facts of the specific case. The outline and customary sections are designed to help the reader focus on the most important information without being distracted by extra details. Okay. So if we are actually dividing the body of our legal report into different sections, it's just to make processing the information being provided by the report a little easy. Okay, just for that reason. Okay, so this is something that you need to remember in case of in case there's an exam question that asks you to write a legal report in the style of a formal letter. Then again, the format of a formal letter needs to be followed while writing letter style legal report. Okay, this is something that you should remember. Now the following link, there's of course this link. This might just help you understand how to write a legal memo better. Please take a look at it. And this is it. See, of course, report writing is more about practice. Chances are very high that they will give you a practical question. So you will, of course, be given a situation and asked to write a legal report on it. But in case they decide to give you a theoretical question on it, then please use the points that are mentioned here. Also, I think when you're writing an answer on, let's say, a question like discuss the steps involved in legal report writing, you also should mention the importance of research. Okay, so the first thing that you need to talk about is how before writing a legal report, you obviously need to do some research. And what is legal research all about? So that is something you should mention, elaborate a little on that. Legal research, of course, means that you need to look for the relevant laws that are applicable to the situation. So you will first, of course, take a look at the issues that are raised by the person, by the client. What all things are, of course, there. What all facts are there in the involved in the case, and of course, you also need to be aware of the issue or the question that is, of course, being raised by the case that has been brought in. Based on that, you will of course look for relevant laws, and for that you of course need to do a lot of research. And during your research, of course, you can take a look at a lot of books, articles, journal articles. So all those things you need to mention in your answer to build it properly. Okay, so you should talk about the importance of legal research in any kind of legal writing, but especially for legal report writing. So once the relevant laws have been identified that are of course applicable to the situation, you then once the research is done, then of course you proceed to the stage of drafting. Okay, then you might just have to prepare more than one draft of a report. How to basically present the information is what you will decide on during the drafting stage. Okay, some things of course might just need to be written and rewritten. This is what drafting is all about. So some information of course you might just feel at the drafting stage that some information should be mentioned first, and then some facts should be mentioned later. So these are the kind of things, these are the kind of decisions you will have to take during the drafting stage of a legal report. So this is there. But once the drafting is done, then the final report will of course be prepared uh, uh, following a certain set pattern, like not necessarily a set pattern, the pattern that of course uh, you feel is fit or is applicable to the situation. Okay. Now there might be, a firm might ask you to write a report in a set pattern. In that case, of course, you'll have to adhere to that pattern. But otherwise, if you feel that the situation requires a different kind of a take on it, then of course, the format of a legal memo can be changed or can be altered a little. Keep this in mind. Okay. I think that's it. I'll give you an assignment question for this video. Please attempt it, practice, and I hope you will do well. As far as the format of the formal letter is concerned, since you also have informal and informal correspondence in your syllabus, I will discuss the format of a formal letter in another video lecture, or yes, in another video lecture. Okay, so I will do that in the next video lecture that I make. Most probably I'll take a formal and informal correspondence in the next video lecture, and therein I will discuss the format of a formal letter. Please remember that format, because that format will also help you to write a letter style legal report. The only thing that is likely to be specific about a letter style legal report is that of course the subject will be report on, and then of course you state the issue on which you're writing the report. So this is there, and then you will present the facts uh, in a instead of subheads, you will of course mention them in paragraphs. Okay, like that is there. But again, the same things are to be discussed even in a letter style legal report: facts, issues, conclusions, and discussion or analysis of the situation. You can of course also mention the sources that you have consulted to arrive at the conclusions that you have. So the basically the information that will go into a letter style legal report remains the same. Okay. Again, even when you're writing a letter style legal report, you need to keep in mind who are you addressing. Okay, you need to keep in mind who is the reader of that report. So based on that, you will present your information. That's it for today. Thank you so much. You will get some study material with this. Please go through that. It's very important that you take a look at it. It will help you understand what legal report writing is about, and that those articles will definitely help you write your legal report better. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you so much.